Hey there, and welcome to Russellville, Arkansas. My name is Cody Campbell, and I'll take a minute to tell you about the Burris Family Memorial. Designed by artist Andy Kinslow and located here in downtown Russellville, this memorial stands in memory and recognition of a tragedy that struck the heart of this community over 14 years ago. American Airlines Flight 1420 uncontrollably flew off the end of its runway after attempting a landing in severe weather on June 1st in 1999. It eventually came to a stop on the banks of the Arkansas River, leaving 135 survivors but killing 10 passengers, 6 of which were from Russellville and the surrounding areas. This memorial stands in recognition of the lives of those 6 people. Let's turn the clock back to the time before that crash, and focusing on a lady named Judy Thacker. Ms. Thacker was a longtime resident of Russellville and a board member of the Main Street Russellville program. She had a dream of putting a park here in downtown Russellville. She thought that maybe some kind of small park at this main intersection could act as a welcoming to visitors to the city that she loved. So she came here. Mr. Troy Burris, who owned and operated this business at that time, owned the perfect piece of land for Ms. Thacker's park, and also shared in her dream of using those grounds as some kind of welcoming for Russellville. So the two began to dream about what that could be like. But before the first official meeting, Ms. Thacker died in the plane crash with the 5 other residents. So shortly after the crash, the Burris family and the rest of the Main Street Russellville program came together and began to plan the Burris Family Memorial. Before we dive into this work of art, I'd like to show you the view from above, which displays the geometry of the monument in a way that no other view can. Starting with the greenery on the outside and working our way down to the pool of water surrounding the fountain, we see that the monument is arranged in perfect circles. Shooting off of the main circle, we see 2 triangular-shaped gardens that reach out to both highways that intersect at this junction. These triangles tie the monument into its surroundings, while also pulling in its audience to the central circle. This geometry plays a crucial role in making this monument what it is, and should not be forgotten as we zoom in and take a closer look. This small brick wall, displaying the name Burris Memorial Plaza, outlines the part of the circle that we saw from above, and faces directly towards the main intersection in Russellville. It's sort of tricky. This is the front of the plaza, but one can't enter the plaza from this point. In order to get inside the circle, you have to walk around this front piece. The plaza is meant to be enjoyed from the road, but at the same time it's still meant to be a separate park. This odd entrance works to draw the line between the outside world and the park itself. Jumping straight to the back half of the circle, we see the 6 benches in the overhead arbor. These benches are made of red brick and concrete, just like the surrounding walls. Without knowing the story, these are just simply brick benches. But when you know the story and you view these benches through the lens of iconography, they take on a whole new meaning. Now, all of a sudden, they're symbols that tell the story of 6 beloved citizens that a small town community tragically lost. Above the benches is a silver metal arbor. Almost like the skeleton of a small building, this arbor encloses the benches while still leaving them open to their surroundings. Again, notice the perfect geometry. This piece is the focal point of the plaza. Starting with the base, we see this pyramid-shaped marble slab with a flat top. Note that this centerpiece is the first in the plaza that isn't at all circular, setting it apart from the rest of the park. Surrounding the base are 6 fountains. Again, we must put on our iconographic lenses to see the symbolism of these 6 fountains as they spray the pyramid at varying angles. The fountains themselves represent the 6 citizens that were lost, while the varying angles of the fountains represent the varying personalities of those 6 individuals. Atop the pyramid is the main attraction, artist Gary Price's Children of Peace sculpture. Gary Price, who is best known for his sculptures of young people in the celebration of life, now resides in Maple, Utah, with his wife, Lisa Clark Price. Together they have 9 kids. Mr. Price attributes much of his success to his 5 boys for being his constant source of inspiration, which, in works like this one here and in so many more that Mr. Price has done, that inspiration is so evident. Mr. Price recognized his love for the arts early on in his life, studying at multiple institutions, including Ricks College and Utah Valley University, and even spending an extended amount of time in Jerusalem to study as well. This statue of his brings so much to this monument. It's in no way a depressing reminder of the tragedy, but an uplifting reminder of life and youth, as it represents hope and inspiration. Gary Price is unlike much of today's sculptors, as modern works usually focus on abstract subjects. However, the naturalism and attention to detail in this work is very much comparable to some classical works, like Andrea del Verrocchio's David and the mysterious Greek Rias bronzers. Real quick fact, Gary Price has also been selected to create the Statue of Responsibility, which is projected to go up on the west coast of the United States in the near future. It's interesting to think about why certain art means more to us than others. This monument isn't all that special when compared to some other ones around the world. but to me it's as good as any of them, just because it's personal. It does a really good job of commemorating those lives that were lost, and it also is something that I can point to in my community and be proud of.